Hello again. Yes, it is I. Candy Swanson, Class 8, Expanded Dianetic Auditor, Master of Social Work, Surfer Girl from Hawaii, Beekeeper Extraordinaire, and World Traveler now. So I've been making a lot of trips. New York City, East Coast, West Coast, and headed to other parts of the planet the rest of the year. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, so what I would like to talk about, since it's been over a year, and you might want to know what's happening with me in my life. I'm at the ending of a relationship. If you look at my old videos, I was very much in love. Now I'm slowing down a bit, making friends, and completing the cycle of the relationship. And this brings me to my topic. Am I looking at the right place?
Yeah, you.
Can I look at you or should I look at the camera?
I sit so close to the camera on purpose while looking
there.
at me.
I can
You
see
are
you better there than underneath here.
okay.
All right, here we go. So I hope you don't mind the interruption. I'm getting my anchor points organized, get my space together. You know how I dislike being in front of a camera. I prefer a real person, so thanks to Tatiana and her being here. I've had a wonderful stay the last 3 days. Let's see. The subject I'm going to discuss is a new triangle that I formulated. I've been working on this a long time, about 40 years. If L. Ron Hubbard was still at the other end of the source line, I would definitely send it up to him, because I know he would value it and cherish it and publish it under his own name, which I would request, as I did with Exchange by Dynamics. These are in 1972. And Conditions by Dynamics. I sent them up to L. Ron Hubbard so he would know that I had started my own game, which he had given me the go-ahead to go out and do my own game. And I mentioned on other videos that I went out the top. I'm sure other people have too, and I sure hope so. I think going out the bottom and out the dwindling spiral, it goes further and further down into oblivion, is not the way to go. So let's all go out the top of this one. I did gift those two works of art that I did to L. Ron Hubbard and requested that he put his name on them. Otherwise it would be considered squirreling per the definition. Well, he's not here to put his name. Hello, kitty cat. And I thought, why stop creating? I'm still doing my game, so here's a gift to all of you. The triangle, right, like that, is called love. Now, what makes up love? Well, the part I've been researching with all these years of couple counseling that I've been doing, helping people save their marriages rather than cut and run after 35 years, 51 years. Well, if the love was there at one point, all you have to do is rehabilitate it, resurrect it, bring it alive again. And let me tell you, it's not very hard to do that. So the triangle at the top is connection, sharing, and caring. Connection, or connecting, sharing, being able to share from your heart to the other heart. If you're on the second dynamic, intimacy in relationships, not just one-night stands. And caring. You care about yourself enough to care about the other person, no matter how they are. It's unconditional love. This is the love I'm speaking of, which is mother to son and daughter, wife to husband, husband to wife, me for the whole planet. So I think you can take this triangle and use it anywhere at any time with anyone, or just with yourself. You want to have a connection with yourself. Connect. You might be all frazzled and have loose ends all over the place. Get those connections in. Complete your cycles of action. If you have things you haven't finished, you know, maybe you can start things really well, or maybe someone else can start you going, and then you can keep going. Maybe you're not able to finish cycles of action. And this is a very important point. You want to complete as many things as possible every single day. That will free up your beingness. It will free you up, get your attention off of all this stuff all over the universe that you're leaving bits and pieces of yourself everywhere. It will give you so much more of yourself. We call this theta, which is really the awareness of awareness. Awareness of your own awareness. Okay. I didn't do that one very well, but it's okay. You'll understand. So, when you're really aware of your own awareness, of whatever you're aware of, and then you take your attention and complete things. You've got unfinished business everywhere, believe me. You're going to get a lot of yourself back. Are we moving the camera? Okay. I want to make sure we have the flowers in the picture. And my peace t-shirt here that I'm wearing specially because this is my year. I just turned 66, and it's all about peace and love and harmony and connection with all of existence. And of course I was doing this 1964, dating Jim Morrison, and Linda Ronstadt moved in next door to me, and it was all about love and life and music and harmony. It was awesome time to be alive and be 18. And okay, so it wasn't yet the summer of love, but I was full of aloha. I'm from Hawaii. You just spread that aloha spirit around. People pick up on it and they love it. And then you receive the benefit of what you're putting out and what you give. So, as far as completing cycles of action, you will have so much more love in your heart, so much more ability to care and share and connect with yourself and other people if you get your attention unstuck. Just complete those things. Write down a long list, all the things you need to do, and then prioritize, put them in an order, and just take one at a time and finish it. And you will be very happy you did. Excuse me. I'm getting a nice breeze blowing here. So, that was the triangle. I think that's enough. I am writing a book and it will have this triangle in it. Yes, I do have a ghostwriter because I'm a very busy lady. I'm always out and about and living life. So how on earth do you get your books written? You hire someone, hopefully a friend, that you can harmonize with and can do what it is that you want and not shut you off or cut you off. By the way, this is me last night, out dancing, my brains out, in a club in Palo Alto. One room was salsa. And I'm not a form type dancer. I am free form. It's all about move with the music and enjoy things. And I danced by myself. No one came up and asked me to dance, thank God. And then I went to the other part, which was incredible techno music, and they're wide open to each other. Both sides are so loud that you can't hear the other music from the other side. And I danced. I had so much fun. People were really friendly there and had a great time and got a lot of photos taken. After all, I am a babushka. Is that right?
Babushka.
Babushka. I'm a... Wait, I almost got it. Abuela. Anyway, I'm a grandmother. And I did want to bring the world up to date. Sorry, Tatiana, but my third grandson was born 2 months ago. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 2-month-old. And there's nothing like the connection. When you're a grandparent, suddenly you're connected to all your ancestors. It just flows right through you and connected to all the future that's coming. It's past and future. It's phenomenal. Incredible heaviness. Just lovely. So I wanted to just let you know that it's the joy of my life, heart of my heart. And it's made me feel so much more connected to everything. So that's that triangle, connection, caring, sharing. And it's all about love. I started with caring, sharing, and loving. So I'm not sure, and then I made that equal connection. But yesterday I decided the whole triangle, it's all about love. You need connection, sharing, and caring. So I have no idea. Anyone can let me know. It's a work in progress. So, is there anything else I should say before I bid adieu and fond aloha and farewell? Anything that you have questions of, Tatiana? Where was I on my birthday? Last month in May, I was dancing 4 hours straight at my very good friend's club in New York City and had a real blast. That was awesome. And then all African Americans were there, 350 of them. I was the only white person. And then a white man came in. There were 2 of us, and they kept coming up to me saying, "How is it you know how to dance so good, lady? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah." I said, well, the white skin is only skin deep. I'm really black inside. They would laugh. We had such a good time for 4 hours. So much affinity, reality, and communication, which is the basic triangle, really. And then this man, he turned out, it was such a sexy dancer. Golly. And he invited me to go with him to another club at 1 o'clock in the morning, so we went. The club's called Splash. It's a gay club down in the lower east village, somewhere in the lower village. Splash. All these men, nearly naked bodies. It was a wonderful time. I danced so much. It was just a gas. Okay, I don't know what else to say. Do you want to ask anything technical? I'm helping people save their marriages, helping people live the lives that they want to live. I'm enjoying it. If you're not doing it right, you're not going to feel good. But if you're doing it right, even if it's work, you get so much energy.
One question, what are you postulating for the future for yourself? Like, how do you see yourself in the future?
Probably. We'll see. I'm ready to come out now. Jim Morrison had said to me after we had dinner at the Greasy Spoon, he says, "Someday I'm going to be rich and famous." He was still in film school at UCLA and practicing with his group, The Doors, and I was going over every day as often as I could after class in Santa Monica City College. I'd sit there on that rug, a white rug with my back against the white wall and looking up at these guys doing their music. It was awesome. There was no one else there, just me sitting on the floor for hours and hours and hours. I love music. And so I say to Jim, when he says someday he's going to be rich and famous, he's like 21, I think. I was 18. I said, why would you want to do that? You know, I'm like, whoa, don't put me out in the limelight. And you know what happened to Jim Morrison? We don't know why, maybe, but I figure that stress, it's a lot of stress in anyone's life. You have to know how to handle it. and make it work for you and get the best benefit of all the connection you're having. Whatever you're doing, it connects you. So I looked at this seriously the last month because I was celebrating my birthday the month before I turned 66, and I'm celebrating it the month after. I may celebrate all year long, who knows. Every day is a celebration. Tatiana knows this. So I said to myself, maybe it's time for me to come out of the closet. Who cares who sees you? It's not about being rich and famous, but why have that as a barrier, you know? So whatever happens in the future, I'm here for it. And it's really about meeting new people, making friends, communicating, sharing. And I know we can all get along. I would postulate for peace on earth. I'm going to say something might make people upset. I hope Obama wins, because he's the man from Hawaii, a man after my own heart. It's all about aloha spirit. He's really just a puppet figure. What do you think he can really do when someone else is pulling those strings? I would feel so despair or so upset that he didn't do everything he promised. Give him 4 more years, and I think he can do it to some degree. Mostly I love his wife. I think she's awesome. She's putting in health and consciousness for children that are innocent victims. As a social worker, you will understand that I have a full knowledge of this. And I really admire both of them and their daughters. I think it's awesome to have them in the White House and leading our country, not over the abyss, but into a better connection with all the other countries on the planet. Yes, it's not just about greed and money and wealth. It's having the wealth of awareness and consciousness and helping others. I believe that's the real wealth. That's where happiness comes from in life. There's something I'm
From
trying to get to.
experiencing love, yeah?
Yeah, well, but I'm trying to get to a point here, which is I believe I'm opening up. I will be happy to be on the internet. I will be I'm stuttering. I'll be happy for any talk shows. When my book's published, Larry Wright is just an awesome guy. Spent 6 hours with him. It's more than an interview. It's just living life and getting to know other people. And that man can communicate, and boy, can he write. He's the one that did the 19-page New Yorker article on the Church of Scientology, and he is writing a book that's going to be amazing. So that's what I'm planning. Lots of communication for the future. I don't plan to get really old and gray. I apologize. I'm going to get younger and younger as I go. All right.
Okay. If right here somewhere LRH was around, what would you ask him?
You mean, I didn't quite understand your language, but when LRH talks to me, I say, get out of the shower, fool. You're not about to come in my shower. If you want to come sit on my shoulder in a session, it's all right. But shut up and stop bellowing. You know, you got to stop chuckling because it's distracting. He is everywhere. Not that he's God, but
What would be your communication to him?
oh, I communicate a lot, most of the time to Hubbard, and I would say, you set up the game, it's following suit, because you yourself said, without all the checks and balances, this is the way it will go. Well, guess what? When you resist hard enough against something, you create it yourself, and that's all that's happening with David Miscavige. He's kind of a little mini-me, but not nearly as charismatic as Hubbard was, and not as big or tall or boisterous and awesome. He's just a little tiny slip of a man with a huge, giant ego, trying to identify and create all this stuff. But you know, if there's nobody home, if there's no theta or thetan or awareness of awareness, how can he ever correct himself or learn from his mistakes if he's never ever wrong? Anyway, it's a real fun joke to be aware of and watch this thing going along. And I wish them all the best. Well, do you want to hear my tiny talk on my opinion? This is what Misha told me to
Go ahead.
talk about. Okay, it's a serious note. Okay, it is my awareness, my perception has come to the point, just the last few years, that whether or not people are practicing within the church, the confines of the church, or whether or not they're on the outside in the independent field opposing the church, we have this wonderful game. Opposition, opposition, fight, fight. Yay for our team. Well, I think that is in a Western viewpoint of how to look at things. I'm from Hawaii. I was raised around the Eastern culture very much. I was the only white kid going to the elementary school from kindergarten on up. And in the Eastern way of looking at things, it's yin-yang. It's a balance. You don't oppose it. You take the opposition and you make it in balance and harmony, and it's all part of life. So this game, silly game that they're playing, we're outside so we're right, we're Ron Zorg and we're the good guys and we're in the church. Well, let me tell you, they're all on that same game. I don't care what position they're in. I think everyone needs to get out of that box, get to the bigger viewpoint of what life's really about. Part of my book is about people that are money motivated and greed. Of course you need money. I'll scoot back. You need money to, exchange is very important. You have to pay your rent and pay your bills and all this. But if you're only money motivated, not helping others using the technology based on a real desire to help them help themselves, so you think you know best, you're going to tell people what they should do, and let's go on up this bridge to nowhere, endless, 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 onward, and more money. You're missing the point of the whole thing. The whole thing is helping each person that you work with to become independent of everything and be able to help themselves. This is the key. You're helping them help themselves. You're not telling them what to do and ordering their life. I'm not smiling at all in this video. Well, I'm at the ending of a relationship. I'm a little sad. But it's okay. So, it's seeing the big picture. Not getting stuck to one side or the other. And no, I'm not sitting on the fence. It's pan-determined viewpoint. The panorama, you hold all points of view. You get as much knowledge, information as you can. And from a knowing viewpoint, make your own decisions. So I don't care. I don't know if Marty's this or that, or Ray Robles is this or that, or who's this or that. David Miscavige can go jump in the lake for all I care. He probably needs a good wash and have fun. We should all go surfing. Let's meet in Malibu this summer. Drop away all that make wrong, make guilty trip that people are on, and let's go have fun. Let's get out in the sun, in the ocean. I give free surf lessons at Malibu in the summer. I do. I brought my own longboard from Hawaii. And I have a short board, but I never figured out how to get up on it. So I think we should all go hang out in Malibu and surf this summer. All right? That'll be nice to see you there. Aloha. Thanks.